What if I told you there are bad actors on YouTube that are impersonating celebrity gossip stories in order to make an income? And they're using you to spread misinformation, some of which is libelous and slanderous, stuff that is completely whole cloth made up out of thin air. The singer Kenny Lattimore and his wife, Judge Faith, have taken it upon themselves as sort of a mission to beat down some of these stories that are false, that have slandered them, and that have talked about their divorce. You've seen these channels before. In fact, these channels have grown to quite a large size. I've been monitoring these channels for years now, and I'm glad that one of the interested parties, the celebrity in question of the story, was willing to go forth and take legal action.
What you're about to see is not gossip. It's not YouTube drama, and it's not a celebrity story. This is an investigation. They hid behind fake accounts. For months, anonymous YouTube channels spread lies about my marriage, and those lies spread so far, Google published them as fact. This was not an accident. But once we pulled the first thread, everything unraveled. We discovered who was behind the attacks. We uncovered how they profit from lies, and we exposed why Black public figures are being targeted by fake news gossip channels online.
And it's interesting that they've chosen Black people as a soft target. They've made inroads in the fact because they know white creators and white celebrities have legal teams and the finances to back up and root these people out at the core. They picked you as a mark in this, and they continue to this day to profit from spreading misinformation all over the internet. And in this day of AI, I only see this problem getting worse.
Some of them weren't even in the country, and every single one of them thought they would never be found. Today, we name them. A lot of people think that because of the anonymity that YouTube allows, they can just say and do whatever they want. And that's simply not true. People are entitled to their own opinions, but they are not entitled to their own facts.
Not only is this damaging to their relationship, but this is just downright illegal. You're putting up something that somebody's wife is cheating on them. What if that causes them to get divorced? What if these people are so persuasive that they get you all to believe and respond to the celebrities, which happens in a lot of cases? I can think of one in particular. Remy Ma's family thought she was in the hospital because of one of these fake gossip pages pushing out fake stories with AI generated pictures of her laying in a hospital bed. Imagine the family's shock and worry and concern, especially if they weren't able to get a hold of Remy. Luckily they were. But the damage has been done. And yes, these channels are monetized. This is a financial imperative.
If anything we've been through can help someone else, and that's why we're being so public about our results, if our experience can serve as a blueprint for how to fight back against online defamation and harassment.
How did all this start?
In April or May of this year, if you typed in our names in the largest search engine in the world, Google, it said that you and I were divorcing, that we were divorced already. It displayed headlines claiming that our marriage was over, citing these videos from anonymous YouTube creators as its source. Those same videos were being shared and amplified across multiple social media platforms.
Okay.
They were so specific with the allegations that they were making about us, and so specific about the divorce filings that they had access to, exclusive papers and judicial rulings, that a lot of people stopped and started paying attention, according to what.
And if we know from experience, human creators or non-AI generated creators like Tasha K in her court case with Cardi B, when you tell a lie on someone in this manner, when you do something that is not true, you can be penalized. These people, foreign and domestic, have been able to skirt around the law in doing this because celebrities they know are public figures and people can make commentary on them. Should these companies that are doing similar things face these same penalties? That's a question I would ask.
But they wrote, I'd filed papers, I've spoken publicly about moving on, navigating a blended family, starting a new chapter. And you and I, according to them, had said all of these really negative things about each other.
There's a whole mention that a judge had ruled from court documents, and it was all dressed up to look as official as possible.
And the real truth of the matter was at that time, we were actually celebrating our 5th wedding anniversary.
Absolutely.
The problem with what Google was displaying was simple, Kenny. None of it was true.
Yeah. And the bigger problem was that it wasn't just like blogger gossip. It wasn't that anymore. It felt institutionalized. I mean, people weren't scrolling random comments. They were seeing it in black and white on Google. And most folks use Google as their quick source of truth. Absolutely, Google.
And he's right when he brings up the term institutionalized, because these videos are being produced at a clip that they're probably employing teams of editors and writers and people doing research. I know for a fact, one of the reasons this genre caught my attention is because as a channel that covers celebrity stories, like, I started to realize that these people were siphoning views. They saw the success of a channel like Faucette Media, and they saw that as an opportunity. They saw these videos that were performing well, and so they decided that this is something that they should invest in. Well, let me tell you, it had a damaging impact on this channel. Like, when I find something, and there's been human creators that have also kind of copied and done versions of what I do. At its worst, the YouTube algorithm was actually favoring that fake content as opposed to this real content. Now, I'm always one for competition, and I'm one for upping my production level and things like that. But when you're going up against a machine, a systematic machine, an institutionalized machine, there's almost no way to keep up.
If Google says it, people believe it. I mean, being in the public eye comes with scrutiny. We understand that. And people are going to always have their opinions, and that's fine. But to have somebody lie on you, it's a whole different thing. You can't chase every rumor, though. But this time was different.
This one's called Black Hollywood History. This channel here, probably a fairly new one. They're using our history as some sort of trap to lure you into their videos. This one says, at 57, I'll Be Sure finally speaks about who unalived D'Angelo. D'Angelo just died the other day. How do they have a scoop, an exclusive about what I'll Be Sure knows about who did what to D'Angelo? If you use just a little bit of discernment, you'll see how fake these stories are. You'll see how smoothed over these pictures are, all these thumbnails here. Nia Long speaks on Taraji P. Henson and Ime Udoka's new relationship. So basically, what they're doing here is they're just taking keywords that have performed well. Like, say, on this channel, I have a video about Ime Udoka and Nia Long. So then they put Taraji P. Henson with that and make up a whole cloth, false, fabricated story. It's diabolical when you really think about it.
Content about people go unchecked online.
Yeah. So suing isn't easy. It's not quick. It costs money. But for us, this was about principle, protecting our family, our marriage, and the truth.
So the lawsuit started with one big problem.
Yeah.
Anonymity. These YouTubers hid behind fake usernames and emails and locations. Legally, you can't sue a ghost. Right. You need a name, an address, a person. So we had no choice but to go through Google's. Legislatively, Google is actually protected from lawsuits like this where they can't be held responsible for creators' content on the site. I want you to think about this. Gossip is more entertaining than the truth. Scandal sells. Being happily married doesn't get views. Creating controversy does. So anonymity plus money is the perfect storm for people who, with no character or integrity, who are willing to say anything. Here's the good news. Google did not fight us on the subpoena. We sent in the requests, and in about 45 days, they produced everything we requested. And
bingo. That's amazing. You got to make these people public. And they go on to talk about how the lawsuit process worked, how Google is protected in this, and you'll be surprised when you see who these people actually are.
The first videos dropped April 5th and April 8th. They were from an account called Black Celeb News. That account published 2 videos about us, unbeknownst to us, narrated by a woman's voice. They racked up over 100,000 views and started being shared and spread across social media before we even knew about them. I'll now read to you from the complaint our attorney drafted about that account now that this person's identity has been revealed and they are now named as a defendant in our lawsuit. Since we're in litigation, I'll stick to what our attorney put in the complaint about this individual. Defendant Willie L. Laney Jr. is an individual residing in Gaithersburg, Maryland. On information and belief, Mr. Laney is a married business entrepreneur who markets himself as helping coaches, speakers, and authors obtain clients and build their online marketing brands. He's a former lead.
Look at that. That's the dude. That's one of the dudes running these channels, man. He even got the grin like, don't trust me, man. This is crazy. And he calls himself a coach, helping speakers and authors get clients from their knowledge. Man, I'm telling you, man, you got to watch out for some of these internet types. These guys that are going to promise you the world and coaching and all this stuff. And meanwhile, their background business is slandering celebrities.
Lead coach at an affiliate at Learn Incorporated and a self-proclaimed digital creator. He operates the YouTube channel Black Celeb News, where he publishes content designed to attract viewers and generate advertising revenue. On or about April 5th and April 8th, 2025, he anonymously published 2 false and defamatory videos concerning plaintiffs, which on information and belief were narrated using an AI-generated female voice. In one, Mr. Laney used...
And that's just it. Some of these AI voices from companies like 11 Labs have gotten so sophisticated that they can mimic the patterns of a real YouTuber, a faceless channel, if you will. They don't want to take the extra step of actually hiring a human person to do this. They want to take the easy route. So what does this man do? He actually crafts a fake AI female voice. Why? To get women's attention, to give them a voice that they trust so that he could put lies on top of it. But I'm going to show you something interesting. I want to see if you know who this one sounds like. Look familiar? That's a video on this channel with an AI generated voice that's called Corey Holcomb Drops Bombs on Dr. Umar Johnson. Drops bombs? I could think of another channel that made that title famous. Let's just take a listen to what AI can sound like.
The 5150 show once again positioned itself as the pulpit for uncut human messiness. Corey Holcomb, Darlene Ortiz, and Craig Fax sat down and reminded everyone that this isn't your polished TED Talk where the speaker has practiced saying systemic without stuttering. No, this is the new Bible of authenticity, a sacred text written in real time with ink made from stress, bad decisions, and the occasional stalker threat.
And you can hear the script of this AI channel just happens to be nonsense. Nothing to do with the video whatsoever. But that's just my personal journey in this. Now, am I tripping when I say that they're watching us? That they're trying to steal the sauce, that they're trying to steal the flavor in any way they can? It's funny because this channel, and I made sure to highlight it, you know, at certain levels on YouTube, we do have a little more privileges than others. Let's just say this person had to end up showing their face. And do you want to see who is behind the smooth and dulcet tones of Corey Holcomb Drops Bombs on Dr. Umar Johnson? This guy right here.
Fallon and Sarah Silverman, they dissected decades of comedy history, dropped receipts on blackface and racist behavior, and unpacked the deeper power dynamics that separate.
This is him talking about Corey Holcomb and the Jimmy Kimmel story that I did, where, you know, him and Sarah Silverman. This is the guy behind that channel now.
This episode left no stone unturned.
So you see why this can be a problem with these fake AI voices? Let's get back into Kenny Lattimore and the lovely Judge Faith.
Used the video thumbnails to falsely quote Ms. Jenkins Lattimore saying the fabricated statement about her husband, Kenny, he is on the DL. This is a phrase widely understood to mean that a man secretly engages in same-sex relationships while publicly presenting himself as heterosexual. This intentional fabrication portrayed Mr. Lattimore as dishonest and unfaithful, and portrayed Ms. Jenkins Lattimore as disparaging her husband with a denigrating falsehood. In the same video, Mr. Laney further fabricated and falsely claimed that Mr. Lattimore stated about his wife, "I don't love her," and asserted that Ms. Jenkins Lattimore was losing it as red flags surfaced in their marriage.
Now, what if they had gotten divorced off of this stuff? She's like, well, I saw it online. You said you don't love me and that you're on the DL. Isn't that crazy? Isn't that just insane? And people can throw that rock and hide their hand. People like Willie Laney.
Mr. Laney's first video was nearly 20 minutes long and was devoted almost entirely to making disparaging comments about virtually every aspect of Ms. Jenkins Lattimore's personal and professional life.
Wow.
He criticized her career, her marriage, her decision to have a child with her husband, her net worth, which he inaccurately stated, and her character in a manner that was not only false but obsessive and calculated.
And that's disturbing, because now you got a man impersonating a woman, mind you, which there's a lot of issues behind that. And then doing some bitch shit by gossiping, trying to break up their relationship, talking about how much money they make and all this stuff and all that. That is, I don't even have words for how disturbing that is. It's sucker shit. And for somebody to be doing that stateside is kind of crazy. Somebody that shows their face in public. You should be ashamed of yourself, sir.
Extended targeted attack went far beyond casual commentary or fair criticism. It demonstrated a fixation on Ms. Jenkins Lattimore that was unusual, malicious, and designed to damage her reputation while profiting from sensationalism.
Wow.
3 days later, in a second video, Mr. Laney falsely presented his content as Mr. Lattimore's response to Ms.
He got the original and the response. So he's talking back to himself. The lies that he made up in one video, now he's answering them in another video so he can continue to monetize. That's insane. You need to seek psychiatric help, sir. This is not normal. Well, it got so bad for him that his channel had to release this video in response.
I'm publishing this video to correct and apologize for false statements.
In
It was
AI
previously
voice.
posted on my channel about Judge Faith Jenkins and Kenny Lattimore. In past videos, it was claimed they were divorced and that there are court documents to prove it. Those statements were proved to be false. They are not divorced, and no such court documents that claimed are not exist. It was also quoted that Judge Faith and Kenny as saying negative things about each other, which also proved to be false.
Wow.
They never made those statements, and it should not have attributed those words to them on this channel. What posted on the channel was proved to be misleading and could be harmful. It should not be posted these falsehoods, and on behalf of my channel want to sincerely apologize to Judge Faith Jenkins and Kenny Lattimore for the hurt and damage my videos caused. I have permanently removed all of that content and will not make any further statements about them without confirming from them directly. Once again, to Judge Faith and Kenny, I deeply regret my actions and I apologize. Stay blessed and be happy.
Couldn't even use his real voice. He had to use the AI to say the apology. Do you think it was genuine? Do you think it was sincere? Most likely not. He's just mad he got caught. And some of these people are running multiple channels, by the way. So if you see similar stories on similar topics, those probably are. And the people aren't showing their faces, and it's not a voice that you trust, those people are probably also AI generating voices. But it gets even worse.
What shocked me the most was that it wasn't just who they were, it was who they pretended to be. You know,
Right.
hiding behind names like Black Tea or Urban Gossip, posing as insiders
Black
from
Hollywood.
our community. But you know, when we looked a lot closer, they really were nowhere near the culture that they were profiting off of.
Exactly. Not even in the United States. Look at that. Look at those stories. TD Jakes. Look like Shirley Caesar up there. Tina Turner. Fake stories about Rance Allen. So this is somebody that's at least familiar with what's going on in the gospel world, it's got a music focus on this. Dietrich Haddon, our last message to Judge Faith and Kenny Lattimore. That's the video that I just played for you. What's really going on is this channel's based in Pakistan. It's operated by a man named Shams-u-Imran.
These next attackers were different. They weren't just copying lies, they were running an operation. YouTube is being used to generate profit from lies and attacks on Black public figures, and it doesn't even start in the US. NBC News reported on this problem in 2024. They found YouTube channels pumping out fake stories about Black celebrities, fabricating scandals, using fake thumbnails, distorting their images, and those videos racked up millions of views. But what NBC didn't uncover was who was behind these channels. Now, we know. In our case, not all of the attackers were in the US. Some of the channels that spread lies about Kenny and I were run by people outside this country. People who pretended to be based in America so they could blend into conversations in our culture and avoid accountability.
And you want to know why they do that from someone who is a YouTuber? They do that so that they can get the US ad rate, which is higher than it would be in, say, Pakistan. They are actually basically running shell companies in the United States, or like I said, tapping into another company, somebody in Atlanta who's going to lend them a channel or something, or an address or verification, because every YouTube channel has to be verified by a human. Well, let's see. If you have multiple channels that are doing nefarious things like making up lies on Kenny Lattimore and Judge Faith, you would want a fake company for it to lead back to. And that's what these people were doing in Pakistan. They're in Pakistan making videos about Black culture. Make that make sense. You don't see Black people on YouTube making all these videos about Pakistan and how much, you know, except for that one chick that got stuck over in Pakistan, the one from New York. That's about the only time Black people made videos about Pakistan. But you got people over here in countries like Pakistan and India, all in Black American culture. Now tell me that our culture, again, what is it, Hollywood, doesn't translate overseas? We've got them so pressed, they're making videos about us and making them up whole cloth. That's insane.
They didn't want you to know that because a so-called Black celebrity news channel hits different when you think it's coming from a member of the community. The goal is to gain your trust. You let your guard down. But these were not US-based creators. They were anonymous operators using fake identities and fake locations, people who build entire YouTube channels on lies. This has been allowed to go on for years. Somewhere along the way, these uploaders decided that Black people were easy targets, that you could lie about us, profit from us, and nobody in power would care to stop it. That ends today. And I will show you exactly who they are and where they operated from in this video. Why are they so brazen, you might ask? There's a reason. They know they're operating outside of the US. They know YouTube and Google are protected under US Law Section 230, which means the platform can't be held liable for what creators post. They know that.
That in their mind makes this a victimless crime, even though they're ruining people's lives with lies. Flat out lies. I don't know if y'all know this, but like as a YouTuber, I can't just come on here and make up a story about these people. You know, I have to, within the best of my ability, do the research and try to say things that are at least truthful or alleged. I can't just make up a story, but somehow if you're living in Pakistan and you're running a US-based Black celebrity channel, you can say whatever the hell you want to. And guess what that turns into? Turns into money. It turns into views. And a lie is going to travel around the world twice as fast as the truth. So do you think we can keep up with those type of channels and those type of views that they're pumping into the system? Like YouTube, you got to do something about this. This is ridiculous. It's setting up an unfair environment. We've already got to deal with straight AI, Martin Luther King doing things, and Jimi Hendrix and whoever the hell else, Mr. Rogers all over the place, and Tupac and Biggie. We've got that coming, and then we've also been dealing with this for the last several years. It doesn't seem like it's getting better. It doesn't seem like there's going to be any crackdown on any of this.
Makes them hard to reach legally because they're out of the country. They think that means they can't be touched. So they feel untouchable. They feel protected. They feel free to try to destroy lives from behind a screen. But exposure changes everything. Look at how this group of channels, owned and operated by the same person, amplified Willie Laney's lies. And here's what exposes their operation for what it truly is, not commentary, but coordination. When we filed suit, the owner of this group of channels, who publicly claimed to be US based, was not in the United States at all. Yet instead of revealing who they really were, they quietly hired a California-based attorney to defend them in this lawsuit. Think about that. Someone posing as an American celebrity news gossip channel overseas suddenly retained U.S. legal counsel. That doesn't happen unless there's a real business behind the lies, one worth protecting. We reached a legal settlement with this operator, but as of this recording, they have not completed all of their settlement obligations. So let me be clear. They are still under legal scrutiny. Their compliance is being enforced, and their final outcome is still to be determined. They built their platform on deception, fake identity, fake location, fake stories to manipulate audiences and profit from chaos. And now accountability has reached their door. Then there are the accounts that we are not in settlement talks with, and they are named in our lawsuit. Here they are. Nazir Rao claims to be based in the U.S., runs the channel Star News, targets Black U.S. celebs and public figures with misinformation. He's actually based in Pakistan. Dinar Minglalamov runs the channel Black Tea, claims to be based in the United States, targets Black celebs and public figures with denigrating content. He's based in Russia. Kunjamal Jayan, official Vault Videos, claims to be based in the United States, targets Black public figures and celebs with defamatory content. He's based in India. Imran Igra runs the channel Celeb News, claims to be based in the United States, targets Black celebrities with misinformation and also Black public figures. He is actually based in Pakistan. Mohammed Shabazz Haider runs the channel Celebrity Star Talks, claims to be based in the United States, a gossip channel with negative content about U.S. Black celebrities. Mohammed is based in Pakistan. Sunny Duvall claims to be based in the United States, runs the channel Mukon Music, targets Black celebrities with negative commentary, actually based in Pakistan. Muhammad Islam runs the channel We Got Celeb, claims to be based in the United States, targets Black public figures and celebs with negative and denigrating content. Muhammad is actually based in Pakistan. This doesn't happen by accident. It happens because YouTube allows it to happen. This entire abuse pipeline only works because YouTube gives anonymous and foreign operated channels the ability to lie about where they are and who they are and still get paid for it. And that has to change. YouTube doesn't need a task force. It doesn't need a 5-year study. It doesn't need another statement. It needs to implement policy, and it needs to do it now.
And get all the money you can out of them. They should be out of the business and off the platform. This is a terms of service violation like we've never seen. And it's been going on under our nose for years. And that's why I wanted to come to my audience here to share this video, because it's good news for sure that somebody's actually taking these steps. Get your money from these companies, because they shouldn't be allowed to operate in the way that they're operating at all. Go through the proper channels. Why are we always having these people that want to take shortcuts, want to do things the easy way? Like, this channel didn't make a dime for 2 years straight of me posting videos and just uploading and making live stream appearances. These people don't want to struggle in that way. They don't want to go through that. They rather take shortcuts. And unfortunately, it sets up an unfair playing field, and it must be ended. So anyway, man, I'm so glad that Kenny Lattimore and his beautiful wife, Judge Faith, took these steps. They are making a difference out here. And I encourage any celebrities in my audience that might be listening to this, why don't you go ahead and investigate? Because you will find that a lot of these fake AI generated channels will stop existing once it becomes hard for them to exist. Anyway, let me know what you think about it in the comments. If you like this video, like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell notification for all uploads. make sure you sign up for the Patreon. My link is in the description and the pinned comment. Over there, I'll be having some live streams about how to do this YouTube thing ethically, the right way, and also some content that you won't find on this channel. This is Faucette Media.